Okay, we're getting ready to start the Pro Series race on the LMPs. We got Phil Stone starting on red, Victor Villachow on white, Jeff Knoll on green, Jim Wood on orange, Rick Eichhoff on blue. So we're getting ready to start racing. I'm going to flip back and hopefully I'll remember to change the cameras frequently. Yes.
Victor Villachow in white, Jeff Knoll in green, Jim Wood in orange, Rick Eichhoff in blue.
Well, I'm in a good starting place, but I don't think it's going to matter. Sometime I got to work on my cars.
Yeah, I hate a mechanic.
I do.
Yeah. I'll take it home, work on it.
All right, you want to swap now?
No, I think I got a pretty good car today.
Yeah.
I think make top three.
I'm thinking make the bottom two.
I was racing for
All
last
right.
place.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Bill, you want to start us off? You or Joe, either one.
Ready. Go. New lane record for Victor Villachow. New lane record for Jeff Knoll. New lane record for Victor Villachow.
I think right there is about where I'm going to finish.
New lane record for Phil Stone.
Orange. Not seeing there, Jeff.
New lane record for Phil Stone. Halfway through the race. 1 minute left. New lane record for Phil Stone.
How come I'm not touching anybody then?
There you go,
You
Victor.
did.
Yep.
That's when they come out.
Well, you did contact somebody though.
That's when I can touch anybody. I gotta give you some out.
20 seconds left. Ten seconds left.
Remember, you're on red, 100%. So. You're doing 4.9 on black, so you'll be happy when you
That
get
was
it
his
back.
car.
No, it wasn't his car?
No,
Oh.
before that.
Oh.
In the heat.
No.
Oh, I thought you were doing 4.9 with this car.
No way. That made you get the good one out though, didn't it?
I got the good one on anyways. But it don't matter. Jeff, he just fell off, but his car's running really good.
Jeff fell off? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
All right. Phil Sloan and Jeff Knoll, Victor Villachow, all three tied for first place. Rick Eichhoff is in fourth place, and Jim Wood's in the cellar. Phil Sloan, Jeff Knoll, Victor Villachow all turned 23 laps that heat. Rick Eichhoff 22 and Jim Wood 21. Time for Jim Wood to buy some new cars. He's running some rental rags. So let's go back to You think what? Hit the button if it's...
You just know what lane it is.
Oh, okay. See ya. See you, Victor. There goes Phil. There goes Jeff. I need need about 3 or 4 in mine.
Yellow flag, go.
There goes Phil again.
New lane report for Phil Sloan. New lane report for Victor Villarchel. 10 seconds left.
Red, white. Thank you.
5 seconds left.
We were telling him the wrong lane. Into heat. All right, Phil Sloan and Jeff Knoll are tied at 46. Victor Villachow at 45. Rick Eichhoff 43. Jim Wood at 42. The leaders are spreading the gap. Jeff and Phil each got 23 laps that heat. Victor Villachow 22. Jim and Rick Eichhoff each 21. So we'll go back to racing. Fast laps, Phil Sloan had a 5.051. Jeff Knoll a 5.187. Victor Villachow a 5.232. Rick Eichhoff a 5.385. And Jim Wood a 5.5.
New lane report for Victor Villarchel. Yellow flag. Ready. Go. New lane report for Phil Sloan. New lane report for Phil Sloan. 1 minute left. New lane report for Phil Sloan. Seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Heat over.
Okay, Victor Villachow and Jeff Knoll tied at 68 laps. Phil Sloan slid down 1 lap. Phil Sloan's at 67. Rick Eichhoff at 65. Jim Wood at 63. Laps that segment. Victor Villachow is the only one that turned 23. Jeff Knoll turned 22. Rick Eichhoff 22 also. Phil Sloan, Jim Wood each 21. Each of them having an off. Fast laps. Victor Villachow turned a 5.045. Phil Sloan a 5.067. Jeff Knoll a 5.194. Rick Eichhoff a 5.229. And Jim Wood at a 5.553. thank you. That was a nice gift.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's a repeat from last
Yeah.
week.
First thing you do is put the controller on. Yeah.
Ready.
It's a long race.
Yep.
Go. Yellow
So the only
Yellow, go. 1 minute left.
that happens.
10 seconds left. Yellow flag. Go. 5 seconds left. Heat over.
All right, Victor Villechow leads with 91 laps. Phil Sloan second place at 90. Jeff Knoll at 89. Rick Eichhoff and Jim Wood tied at 85. Lap set segment. Victor and Phil each got 23. Jim Wood 22. Jeff Knoll 21. Rick Eichhoff 20. That cost me. Something happened to my car when you put it on.
Report for Phil Sloan.
What lane you race next? Okay, maybe we can put it there for you.
10 seconds left.
Track.
Yellow flag.
Scale auto. I mean, not scale auto, but I need a different guide flag.
5 seconds left.
Into heat.
Heat over.
Phil Sloan And Jeff Knoll tied for the lead, going back and forth with Victor. Phil and Jeff each got 23 laps that heat. That puts Phil at 113, Jeff Knoll at 112, Victor at 110, and Rick and Jim at each at 106. So we have a hard race at the bottom, and we got a hard race at the top. Laps that segment, Phil and Jeff each 23, Jim and Rick each 21, Victor 19. So Victor gave up 4 laps that one heat to the leaders. Fast laps, Phil Sloan turned a 5.065, Jeff Knoll a 5.202, Victor Villachow a 5.146, Rick a 5.377, and Jim a 5.420. In front of you, Ryan.
Yeah, it's right in front of you.
Guys got to focus on the track.
Wrong lane. Put it on the wrong lane. Good. You gotta wake up. Sorry.
Yellow flag.
Rick felt sorry for me because I got a slow car. Good job. Good. Victor, I'm going to pause it a second. All right. Phil Sloan leads by 1 lap over Jeff Knoll. Phil is at 136, Jeff at 135, Victor Villachow at 133. Jim Wood has slid by Rick Eichhoff. He had an off and then Marshall missed it, and that cost Rick some laps. Of course, Rick was on white and Jim was on purple. That's an easy lane, purple, and white's a tough lane. Rick's going to red, which put him at a disadvantage there also. Fast laps, Victor Villachow turned a 5.121, Jeff Knoll a 5.152, Phil Sloan a 5.203. Let's go back to racing. Yeah, I got it going again. 10 seconds. You can hold that.
I'm behind.
Me too. You're not as bad behind as I am.
I'm like 3 laps. Still on orange. We have to go to white. I got to work miracles.
Something wrong with black. Is that braid up on black right there? Right at the sharp turn. Right at the sharp turn. Nope. Okay. feet over.
Pushing it.
Phil Sloan leads at 157 over Jeff Knoll at 156. Victor Villachau picked up 2 laps on both of them at 156. Jim Woods at 148. Rick Eichhoff at 143. Laps that segment. Victor Villachau 23. Phil Sloan, Jeff Knoll, Jim Wood all 21. Rick Eichhoff 20. Fast laps. Phil Sloan had, Victor Villachau turned fast lap of 5.120. Phil Sloan 5.131. Jeff Knoll 5.331. Jim Wood 5.387. And Rick Eichhoff 5.478. Last heat. Last heat.
That's me, Phil, coming by you.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more time. No pressure, no pressure.
I'm not gonna wait for you.
No pressure.
When you're out, Jeff and I are waiting for you.
I'm coming. Give me a couple more laps.
1 minute left.
Got a minute. I got a minute.
Whew.
Good race there. Good race, Phil.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, a short 5 seconds, wasn't
Yeah, I
it?
was gonna say.
All right, we got some ties. Nobody move your cars. Sloan wins the race about 9 feet ahead of Victor Villachau. Both of them at 180 laps. Jeff Knoll, smooth 3rd place with 178. Jim Wood, who pulled ahead of Rick Eichhoff at 170. Rick at 164. Laps that segment. Phil Sloan, Victor Villachau turned 24 laps that segment, which is about impossible to do. He did it. Phil Sloan, 23 laps that segment. Jeff Knoll, Jim Wood each at 22. Rick Eichhoff at 21. Great race, guys. Great race. We're going to go to pictures. And we'll be back in just a minute.
That's right.
I like it better the other way.
I had to.
You already had it,
Go.
don't you?
No, I put it there.
Oh,
With
you did.
I did.
Because he always does that.
I know. I did it too. That's a good race.